for all. Have a nice time. So we completed up to aquatic ecosystem, its zonation yesterday, right? The kind of aquatic organism. Based on the limit up to which they are going, we can classify, right? If it is going in the topmost area, that is the air-water interface, it is called as neuston. Periphyton, if it is growing in a submerged manner, attached with the clinging with the submerged plant species, right? Next one is plankton, that is the producer. They are present up to the photic zone. We can demarcate based on the limit up to which sunlight is passing. Next one is nekton, they are the free swimmers. In algae, we discussed about the types of algae based on the pigments present. Red algae, that is the rhodophyceae or erythrophyceae. Blue algae, that is cyanophyceae. Paleophyceae, that is the brown algae. Yellow algae, that is the xanthophyceae. Okay. Beyond this, we discussed about monotrichus, amphitrichus, peritrichus, polytrichus, right, sir? So on the final lowermost area, that is called as the benthos zone, and whatever organism growing here, that is called as living here, they are called as benthic organism, right, sir? So I can tell mostly benthic organisms are involved in decomposition. So here it is the production phase, here it is decomposition phase, right? So when the production phase is exceeding, the consumption phase, then we can tell the BOD is increasing, right? Biological oxygen demand is increasing. Okay. Someone asked me about COD, right? Yesterday. The last time you asked about chemical oxygen demand. COD is nothing but chemical oxygen demand. So what is this, sir? So BOD is totally involved about the oxygen need of the entire organism present in this aquatic ecosystem, right, sir? So it is a living process for whatever organisms present in the aquatic ecosystem. When the oxygen level is getting reduced, then the survival of all of the organisms out of deficiency of oxygen is a question mark. That is called as biological oxygen demand. That is about the entire living organism biological need, right, sir? This happens in eutrophication that we discussed, right, sir? Whereas chemical oxygen demand, I'm not concerned about the biological activity. If I'm having a glass of water, if I'm taking a sample from an aquatic ecosystem, and if I'm evaluating what is the amount of chemicals, different types of chemicals will be present in the aquatic ecosystem. Okay, what is the types of chemicals and what is the volume of chemical present in one particular aquatic region? That analysis is nothing but chemical oxygen demand. Okay, sir. Simply it is a chemical analysis. Different types of chemicals may be present. So based on the types of and the volume of chemical available present mixed in the aquatic ecosystem, we can come to a conclusion whether the water is having purity or it is impure. If the level of chemicals is very higher, then the purity percentage is very less. So what is the implication of this COD, sir? So if more of chemicals is involved, if the more of chemicals is present inside the aquatic ecosystem, so the amount of oxygen availability will be reduced. So say if a pollutant is entering, say some organic debris is being thrown off into an aquatic ecosystem. Some organic or inorganic debris is being thrown off. It is reaching the aquatic ecosystem. The chemical level is increasing. So oxygen is needed for reducing the effect of the effluent, for treating these chemicals. So this is a pollutant which is entering, the chemical is entering the aquatic ecosystem. So if the aquatic ecosystem is having more of oxygen, then oxidation is possible. By this way, the effect of the effluent will be reduced. So when more of chemicals is being added, the level of oxygen will be reduced for oxidation reaction and conversion of the wastages into less toxic thing. This simply indicates the purity or impurity of the water. Is it is clear, sir? I don't know who asked COD. Is it is clear what is COD is now? BOD is nothing but the total oxygen requirement for the entire biological activity, including decomposition by microbes, because microorganism is also a living organism. Right, sir? It is all about C. When biological oxygen demand is increasing, there is sudden death of fish species. There will be sudden death of all other crab or anything. It may be whatever aquatic organism present here. They will be devoid or deficit of oxygen and they will die. This is the end result of BOD. But COD, I am not bothered about the biological activity. Simply, I am speaking about the level of oxygen presence in aquatic ecosystem. When the oxygen, when more of chemicals is added, the oxygen level will be reduced, and oxidation and conversion of the toxic element or chemicals into less toxic or degradation is a question mark. Is it is clear, sir? Are you clear what is COD? Gopinath, is it is clear what COD is? Uday. Yes, sir. Okay. And someone asked me about what is coliform index, right, sir? So what is coli? And about coliform, yes, someone asked me. Yes, Uday, is it you, right? Coliform index, right? These are nothing but a bacteria, right? See, coliform, E. coli is an example of coliform bacteria. Escherichia coli. It is even present in our intestine. Okay, normally these coliform bacteria are present in fecal matters. As a fecal contaminant, it will be present. These bacteria will be present. So whenever these wastages are reaching an aquatic ecosystem, the coliform bacteria will be entering this aquatic ecosystem and they will be contaminating this aquatic ecosystem. Say if this is a potable ecosystem, a village is utilizing this water for drinking purpose. If you go to Pudukkottai, Ramanad district, still now they are having some secluded, they have some specific pond for drinking water purpose. The water will be very much turbid. Okay, it is not crystal clear. It is turbid. It is mixed with all of the soil materials and the organic materials present there. They simply filter the water with a cloth and they will collect it and they will drink it directly. And in some places, they are using some kind of nut. Okay, they will crush the nut and they will apply it in that vessel overnight. They leave it overnight and they will drink it directly. The name of the nut is called as Tetan Kottai. Okay, sir. So this was the habit of we people before modernization to collect water from well or else pond. So when the contaminant, that is the bacteria, is reaching the aquatic ecosystem, E. coli bacteria, this will contaminate. This will contaminate the ecosystem. The water is being spoiled. This is called as counting waters or enumerating. Enumeration means counting. Microbial counting is called as enumeration. So microbial counting of a sample, say I'm taking a sample, say some 200 ml of water from this particular water body. What is the amount of E. coli present here for 200 ml? That is called as coliform index. Actually speaking, literally speaking, the coliform index should be 0 for drinkable condition, for potable condition, right, sir? So if coliform index is higher, if people are drinking this water, it will result in vomiting, some food poisoning, diarrhea, fever, and other things will be caused. Right, sir? Is it clear, Uday? What is coliform index? Yes, sir. For drinking water purpose, this particular parameter is used as a general rule. Right, sir? So we discussed about the zonation, then littoral zone, pelagic zone, epipelagic. This is for a marine ecosystem, mesopelagic, okay, and benthopelagic. That is the lowermost area. If it is a marine ecosystem, instead of benthos, we have abyssal plain. These are the things we discussed, right? And eutrophication, simply I will make in nutshell. What are the key features? external source of excessive addition of nutrients into an aquatic ecosystem. This is the one liner of eutrophication. It should be external. The nutrients should come from an external source and it should be added in an excessive manner. If it is added in a limited manner, it doesn't harm. The production phase will be limited and the consumption phase will keep pace with that. Okay, sir. It is external and excessive source of addition of nutrients into an aquatic ecosystem. So out of this happening, what happens, sir? The first action is algal bloom that we discussed. More of production. The production phase is increasing. Algal bloom. Out of algal bloom, what's it is forming a thick mat. What is the second action? The second action is the sunlight can't penetrate inside. It forms as a blanket. Algal bloom forms as a blanket covering the entire topmost area. So the thick mat is formed, completely covering the aquatic ecosystem. Entry of sunlight is a question mark. Entry of sunlight. When entry of sunlight is not assured, what happens, sir? Atmospheric oxygen can't enter here. So when atmosphere oxygen is not dissolving with water, already I told the water level has only 100 to 150 times lesser amount of oxygen when compared to atmospheric oxygen. Only limited oxygen availability is there when what sunlight is penetrating. Now even the sunlight is not penetrating. So what happens, sir? Third action, biological oxygen demand will be increasing. These are the sequential steps in eutrophication. BOD will increase. When BOD is increasing, what, sir? Sudden death of organism. Before that, what happens? More of neurotoxins will be produced. Statements, you can get statement based on this, sir. Neurotoxins, partial decomposition in a closed body. So neurotoxins level will be increased. Then what happens, sir? Sudden death of species. Sudden death of all species, they will float. Right? Sudden death. Then what is the end result, sir? Can someone tell what is the last worst form of effect which eutrophication will result? Someone, sir, make it faster, sir. What will be the final effect of eutrophication? So these things in a sequential fashion I have described. Can someone tell what will be the last effect? The worrisome thing here. Sir, kindly make it faster, sir. What is the last step, sir? Last death of large number of fishes in the marine ecosystem. That happens, sir. So that I have mentioned here, sudden death of organisms. So I'm speaking about aquatic ecosystem, say for the example of pond ecosystem. If eutrophication is taking place in a pond ecosystem, what will be the last step happening? The end result of maybe loss of pond. Very good, Dinagaran, right? Not maybe, it is sure. Not it is not maybe, Dinagaran, it is sure. Surely conversion of a productive ecosystem into an unproductive terrestrial ecosystem. Okay, sir. Conversion of a productive aquatic. Previously, it was a productive ecosystem, sir. It is supporting various number of aquatic organisms. Okay, if it is a lake, I am using this water for drinking purpose. I can use this water for irrigation purpose, right, sir? So this was a productive ecosystem. When eutrophication is not controlled, that too cultural eutrophication is not controlled, the end result is conversion of a productive aquatic ecosystem into an unproductive terrestrial ecosystem, right, sir? So it is clear. Next one, then we discussed about biological magnification. The entry point is called as bioaccumulation. That is how a chemical is entering into a living organism. Bioaccumulation. Biomagnification is nothing but when the chemical is moving from one level to another level, right, sir? Another level means it is tropic level, the next energy level. One tropic level to another tropic level, the concentration of the chemical is increasing. This is the key word. Increase in the concentration of chemical when it is moving from one tropic level to another tropic level. When it is reaching the topmost consumer, the concentration is exorbitant. It is very higher and the final carnivore will die. By this way, we lost vulture population, right, sir? So biomagnification, DDT, dichloro, diphenyl, trichloroethane. What is PCB, sir? Can someone abbreviate what is PCB? Yesterday we discussed something about PCB. Diclofenac for vultures, sir. Right, Uday? Diclofenac that is used as a painkiller for cattle, right? Persistent organic pollutant. I'm asking PCB. What you have abbreviated is POPs. That is for POP, sir. I'm asking PCB, sir. So for that, instead of diclofenac, diclofenac is banned now. Melanoxicam, the alternative drug for diclofenac is melanoxicam. This is the alternative drug, anti-inflammatory drug used instead of diclofenac. But we are still now we are using diclofenac in various forms, sir. The original form has been banned, but if you take any painkiller lotions, athletes used to apply some lotions, right, sir? Some spray. If chance permits, next time you see any painkiller, spray. Okay, that spray will contains diclofenac as an ingredient. So the alternative drug for diclofenac is melanoxicam. Polychlorinated biphenyls, sir. Very good, sir. PCBs, polychlorinated biphenyls. By any means, they are very, very persistent. These DDT and PCBs, even though they are banned, still know the effect we are reaping it. They have reached their they have found their way reaching marine ecosystem, right? Causing biomagnification. So I told for biomagnification to happen, what should be the nature of the chemical? The chemical should be biologically active. Right, sir? If it is not biologically active, if a chemical is not active in my body, it doesn't harm me. Right, sir? And if the chemical is water soluble, say some chemical which is entering into my body, if it is water soluble, the chemical will be washed off along with urine. So if biomagnification have to take place, the chemical should be fat soluble. Then only any organism, if it is entering into the fish species, diclofenac or else PCB, if it is entering into a fish species, what kind of excretory system is taking place in aquatic organisms, sir? Can someone tell, sir? Even it is toxic, why do the product is being circulated in the market, sir? Is that the lobbying of farmers? Yes, sir. Sir, recently what happened, see, remdesivir that was used for corona, right? So there was a huge demand for remdesivir medicine in market. But very recently, the WHO, World Health Organization, is telling that remdesivir doesn't work. The efficacy is very, very less. Because there is no other alternative chemicals there. Out of its popularity, we are still continuing. Other forms of DDT is being used. Now tell me, I asked a question, what I asked, sir? It is fat soluble, right? It should be fat soluble. Say DDT or PCB or any chemical, if it is entering into aquatic organism, I asked a question, what is the kind of excretion which is taking place in the aquatic organism? Excretory question. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So answer my question, sir. What kind of excretion is present in aquatic organism? I told in desert species, one kind of excretion methodology is taking place. In human being, it is called as, we are ureotelic, right? Because we excrete in the form of urea in our urine. So what kind of excretion is taking place in aquatic organism? We are ureotelic. Desert living organisms are uricotelic. That is, they release, I told even lizards, they will excrete their wastage in the form of uric acid. It is called as uricotelic. And what about these aquatic organisms? So it's very easiest question, sir. they will release in the form of ammonia, right? Ammonotelic. These are repeated questions, sir. Ammonotelic form of excretory mechanism is present in which kind of organism? So to release ammonia from our body, we need much of water. This is practically feasible only for aquatic organisms. So ammonotelic. So say if a chemical which is entering into a aquatic ecosystem or anything it may be, if it is water soluble, if they can even excrete ammonia, even they can excrete the chemical which is entering into their body. So that the chemical should be fat soluble. If it is fat soluble chemical, they will get attached with the fat of the body of the organisms and they won't be removed outside from the body of the concerned organism. By this way, the chemical will be present, say DDT. It is present in zooplankton. It is present in small fish body. So if it is a fat soluble, the DDT will be attached with the fat of the fish. Only ammonia will be released outside. The chemical will be get attached with the fat. Now, when the big fish is eating, it is eating the DDT along with the small fishes. This is present in the, by this way, if the chemical is fat soluble, it will be reaching the next level of the organism. So here, more amount will be reaching, right, sir? So the chemical nature is very, very important for biomagnification to take place, to produce a harm, right, sir? If we are using water soluble chemical, it doesn't harm. It will be released outside from the body of a organism. Then we discussed about mangroves, right? So mangroves, they are littoral, halophytic, tropical and subtropical growing species. They are littoral species growing in the edges of the coastal area, right, sir? Halophytic, they are salt-loving plants. Salt-loving, I will not tell salt-loving, they are salt-tolerant. They can tolerate salt, right, sir? And they are confined to tropical and subtropical zone. Aeration or respiration is the problem. To overcome this, they will have some modification, modified roots, aerial roots, respiratory roots. Technically, it is called as pneumatophores. Then for extra anchorage, they have vertically emerging. These are the only important roots, pneumatophores. They are growing negative geotrophic. They are going against the gravity, right? So negative geotrophic. Negative geotrophic. Then vertically some roots will emerge and get anchored to the ground. They are called as prop roots, and lateral roots from the main trunk, they are called as tilt roots, right, sir? Then coppicing, when the main trunk is cut off, and the main trunk is cut off, new offshoot will emerge. This is one of the survival mechanism. Even in drumstick, banana, we will find this kind of coppicing. And this condition, what do you call this condition, sir? The young one emerging still attached with the mother plant. It is called as viviparity. It is given here, right? It is called as viviparity. To overcome this salinity, if this particular habit is not taking place, the seed has to reach the salt water instantly at the initial stage itself. Since it is the initial stage, it can't withstand. But when the sapling has emerged, now it can withstand. So this is viviparity. Then what are the benefits of mangroves? Very clearly, they are the first line of defense against tsunami. It is a harbor place for what's all of the aquatic organism. So heavy mineral deposition and heavy mineral treatment, natural way of heavy mineral treatment. So we have more of utility in medicinal aspect, wood value, timber value, right, sir? Coastal shoreline stabilization. These are the, so even they will erosional control and Nipah fruticans. Okay, the only kind of mangrove tree species from which we can extract alcohol, right, sir? A palm kind of tree species only, sir. And what are the threads, sir? What is the thread, sir? So see in this diagram, okay, so there is no water level here. Even though it is a kind of marshy condition, but there is no stagnant water as like in this diagram. So the farmers, they used to fill this area. They used to clear this area completely and they will shift this area for agriculture. Why they have to shift this area for agriculture, sir? So if they are shifting this for agriculture, so this area are mineral rich. So whatever they will raise, it will grow in a luxuriant manner. So this is one of the threat, shifting of mangroves for agriculture, right? Then what else, sir? What are the other threats, sir? So removal of more of felling of trees for agriculture and for aquaculture. These are very, very comfortable zone for commercial way of aquaculture. It is the art of rearing any kind of aquatic organisms. Prawn culture, that is called as aquaculture. Fish culture, any kind of aquatic organism can be raised. Aquaculture, especially it will deal about prawn rearing, commercial prawn rearing, right, sir? So if I am going for commercial prawn rearing, prawn, okay. So expecting a good economic output, what we will do, we will give more of additives, nutritive supplements will be provided for this prawns raised in the artificial aquaculture area, right, sir? This is a chance for eutrophication and construction of industries adjacent to mangroves. They will release pollution. This is also a chance of eutrophication, right? Construction of resorts, tourist part, and then we discussed about corals. Okay, I told corals is nothing but a symbiotic relationship between a polyp and a algae. Actually speaking, the color of corals is white in color or colorless. They are the animal partner. Okay, sir. And algae, they are the producers. So when these two combine, then it is called as corals. In corals, again, they are confined to tropical and subtropical. One exception is that recent studies tells that, recent study means it is not more than 10 years or so. It tells that there are even some unexplored cold corals. So what we are speaking all about is general corals which is growing in tropical and subtropical area, but exceptionally cold corals are even present. And if it is completely studied, it is giving a figure that these corals are very, very voluminous than the normal corals what we know. So one such popular example is Rost Reef, ROST, Rost Reef in Norway. These are examples of coral reefs, cold corals. Rost Reef of Norway. Likewise, many cold corals are present. One beauty about these cold corals is they doesn't need combination with algae. Okay, sir. Simply they are polyps. They doesn't need combination of algae. Only Arctic we have combination of algae and polyps, right, sir? Sir, what are biotic and recirculatory aquaculture systems, sir? So bioflocculation, biofloc. Biofloc, it is recent methodology, sir. So if I want to say in this area, in this coral area, if it is nutrient deficient, if it is having nutrient deficiency, the algae can't produce more of photosynthesis. They can't do more of photosynthesis. So if I am adding some nitrogenous sources here in a pellet form, okay, in a solid form, they will fix the nitrogenous fertilizer or nitrogenous nutrient in any form, that is flocculation, in flocculation form. If I'm placing these nitrogenous flocks here, there will be exorbitant growth of algae. That is biofloc, sir. Recirculatory aquaculture system, right, sir? It is recycled. Okay, the wastages will be treated, again it will be continued. So coming to types of coral, fringing reefs, that is present the edges of the continental shelf. That is a popular type of corals worldwide, fringing reef. And when the corals are growing parallel to the coastal line, then it is called as barrier reef. And if it is going more or less in a circular form, then it is called as atolls, right, sir? These are the types of corals what we have seen. And the last one is estuary. What is estuary, sir? It is a place where a river meets a ocean. Simply where a river meets a ocean. Normally, when a river is meeting an ocean, it may form a delta, right, sir? When it is bringing more of sediments, superficially looking into a river, we will see only the water. But underneath the river, it is in course of action. Okay, river is always, whenever there is a river, it means that it is doing some tremendous job. It is working upon something. So underneath the river, it is, what's that? It is bringing, it is rolling all of the rocks, some boulders, some corrosion is taking place. By this way, by this corroding action, okay, they will, by this collision, by this rolling of these rocks or pebbles or boulders, at last they will bring finer minerals in soil sediments form, right, sir? So, flock itself is a kind of capsule powdered form to enrich those corals, sir. Sir, artificial will used to do it, sir. Flocks, whatever the nutrients requirement, we will make it as a powder form or pellet form or any form, sir. Sir, flock addition can be made for increasing the algal growth. If I'm expecting more of fish catch in area, I can go for flock addition. Okay, so if I'm doing this in coral, obviously there is assured fish catch. So they are confined to corals. I can't tell that flocculation is only made in corals, right, sir? So coming to this river, they are always in course of action. They will bring more of sediments. When the sediments are deposited at the end of the river, they will deposit all of the sediments brought by the rivers and they form the delta, right, sir? Or else the river in a calm manner, they will meet with the ocean, right, sir? So see, in Amazon River in Brazil, they will bring much of fresh water into the ocean. So up to some extent, say some kilometers inside the ocean even, the water is very fresh water. Then imagine what is the volume of the water by the river. What is the energy of the river of the Amazon? Okay, up to a particular depth, up to a particular extent in ocean, the water itself is very fresh. Understand, sir? So river, we can't imagine what is action. It is always in continuous. It will brings more of sediments. The sediments is nothing but nutrients. They are nothing but minerals. In the same way, the ocean will bring all of the coarser sediments and minerals. So estuary is a calm zone. The river water easily coexists with the ocean water, and there will be always continuous flow of water from ocean as well as water are forming a calm zone. Okay, sir. Estuary, it is a calm zone. That's why organism present in the river, they prefer to live in this calm zone, transition zone. That is called as ecotone, right, sir? So estuary is nothing but an ecotone. Example of an ecotone, right? So again, minerals are brought from ocean water or sea water. So there is a nutrient flux in this area. So sediment deposit adjacent to this area. So agriculture is proliferating in this area adjacent to the estuary. They are the world highest settlements, world largest human settlements are found along the estuaries. Since they deposit more of sediments, soils are with rich of minerals, right, sir? Agriculture is possible here, and so human settlements, around 60% of human settlements you have witnessed in the estuary. So when settlements is there, they go for industry, they go for agriculture, and by this way they are released into the estuaries. This proves a menace. This proves a chance for addition of effluents. By this way, estuaries are getting degraded these days. Right, sir? Of provide open space and recreation. Okay, natural flood control method, right, sir? So when the river meets with the ocean, excessive water, it is dropped out, it is released into the ocean. Natural flood control, it is a natural channel for flood control. It purifies the water. They are the natural aquifers. Okay, sir, always water is stagnant here in a estuary. Okay, sir. Assured water supply. The river won't get drained in this area because when there is less amount of water flow from the river, at least water supply is assured from the ocean. So always there is water presence in this estuary. So it will, when it is getting infiltrated, it will increase the water table. It produces oxygen. Sediment traps, erosion control. Okay, sir. Erosion control is made, sediment traps, nurseries for marine fishes. So since it is a calm area, most of the marine fishes, they prefer to breed in this area. It acts as a breeding ground, nursery ground. Okay, after the younger ones emerge, they may return to marine ecosystem. Okay, sir. It is a home for endangered species. Migrating water birds, say Siberian cranes, which is migrating from Russia, they prefer to come to this estuary. They will choose, they build a nest in this area along the trees present here because there is no need that they have to spend more of energy in search of food for the young ones. Okay, always there is some assured food presence here. So it is habitat for migrating winter water birds, right, sir? So now see this particular diagram and this one, sir, second one, sir. Now we are into the next topic, wetlands. Sir, any doubts you have in the previous classes, kindly intimate me. Those who are coming live, you can put your doubts in live chat box, sir. If you make it in comments, it won't appearing for me. So kindly paste your, affix your doubts in chat box, live chat box. Do you have any doubts in our previous sessions? Shall we proceed, sir? Shall we proceed? Do you have any doubts? Okay, sir. We proceed. So what is a wetland, sir? Before getting into the topic, what is wetland, we should be made clear about some conceptual things. What is the inference we can make when comparing with these two ecosystems? Here also I am having water. Here also I am having water. But what the inference we can make, sir? See here, it's crystal clear, sir. It's very calm. In this diagram, in this picture, I can't see much of the organisms, right, sir? Depthness, right? Very good, very good. At least this area is very depth, very good inference. First diagram is having more of depth. Second diagram, you can see the cranes are walking over this water. The depthness is very limited. This inference is very, very important. Then what else, sir? Anything else you can make a comparative analysis out of these two pictures? Any other inference, sir? What happened to Gopinath? Mr. Gopinath? Unwanted plants being grown in the second picture, sir. Very good, sir. Some unwanted, it is Icornia grassipus, water hyacinth. Okay, some aquatic weeds are growing. These unwanted plants, it is commonly called as weeds. Any unwanted plants, it can be called as weeds. So say, I can't tell any plant as unwanted, but for agriculture's sake, I have to tell some plants as unwanted. So in this aquatic ecosystem, water hyacinth is a weed. It is not needed here. It would be very much nice if people are constructively interactive in our class. Yes, sir. Surely, sir. Surely, sir. Okay, kindly paste your doubts in chat box so that we can make it constructively. Otherwise, it doesn't take half an hour for me to complete these things, sir. Simply what is demanding for examination, I will tell you. But it is all about analysis. Any subject, it should be analytical. Your questions are more analytical than more of objectivity. There is no objectivity. Right, sir? So come to this. Weeds, an unwanted plant. Say I'm having a paddy crop. I'm raising paddy crop in my field. In paddy crop, If turmeric is coming as unwanted plant, that is also called as a weed, because my point of interest is raising paddy crop. But turmeric, that is also a useful crop. But if this turmeric is raised, is coming unknowingly, if it is coming along with the paddy crop, that also has to be called as weeds only. It is not like only Parthenium or Prosopis or anything. They are common weeds, right? So we can make some inferences comparing these two pictures. One is depthness, as Mr. Uday told, right? Other things, here there is no different type of species, sir. Okay, see here different kind of tree species are present. So many number of birds are present. I can't even find any track any birds. Yes, Kalaigal Kalishwaran. It is called as Kalai Chedi. ஓகே, அப்போ ஒரு விவசாய நிலத்துல எந்த செடி முளைச்சாலும் அது களைச்செடி தான். எனக்கு தேவை, நான் ரைஸ் பண்ற கிராப்பை தவிர எது முளைச்சாலும் களைச்செடி தான். பொதுவான கலைகளும் இருக்கிறது. அது இல்லாம ஒரு நல்ல ஒரு கிராப்பா இருந்தாலும் எனக்கு தேவையில்லைன்னா அது பேர் கலை தான். So come to this is called as a lake, right sir? Diagram one is nothing but a lake, ஒரு ஏரி. When I'm speaking about lake, the depthness matter, the purity of water matters, because the lake is only utilized for drinking water purpose or else for irrigation. This is the two purpose for having a lake. Okay, lake is associated with drinking water character. This is for drinking water purpose. So if you go for Chennai, in Chennai, the drinking water need is supplied by Chembarambakam Eri, Chembarambakam Lake. So lake, the major agenda is to supply drinking water, and or else it should be for irrigation purpose. Okay, this is the purpose of having a lake. Chembarambakam and Pundi, right sir, right sir. Drinking water purpose. These are the objective of having a lake. So again, so the lake is much deeper, right? So I can't find any plant growth inside the lake. In the adjacent area, I can find some shrubs and herbs, smaller annuals growing here. But inside the lake, see in the second diagram, inside the water holding area itself, I'm finding some vegetation. It means the water depth is very less. So what is a lake, sir? There is no any clear-cut demarcation what is a wetland or what is a lake, but National Lake Conservation Program, NLCP, National Lake Conservation Program, they made it clear what is the criteria to define something as a lake. Okay, sir. So it should be having minimum at least 3 meters of depthness, right, sir? A minimum depth should be at least 3 meters, and it should cover at least 10 hectares. Yes, sir, I will come to this, sir. 3 meters, and it should cover at least 10 hectares. Then see how much volume it is. How much volume of water. It doesn't come under act, sir. Okay, it's a program. So 10 hectares is the catchment area of a lake. 2.5 acres, that makes 1 hectare. Then imagine, sir, 2.5 acres makes 1 hectare. Then imagine the volume of water it can hold, right? So these are the two conditions with which I can tell something as a lake. But what is a wetland, sir? Now compare what is a wetland. So again, before this, the lake can be classified based on its nutrient character. Here COD matters. Are you getting me, sir? Here COD matters. Chemical oxygen demand is highly optimal for this lake ecosystem. Okay, because it is all about the purity of the water. So the lake, based on the nutrient content, we can classify as oligotrophic, mesotrophic, and eutrophic condition. Okay, sir. So what are the conditions? What is the meaning of trophic, sir? What is the meaning of trophic? Yesterday we had a discussion. What is the meaning of trophic? Simply tell what is the meaning of trophic. Energy, right? Fine, sir. Very good. Chiranjeevi. Oligotrophic, meso, and eutrophic. We even discussed what is U yesterday. Meso means middle, U means the fullest, the complete. Oligo means absence, lacking. When the lake is having less amount of energy, then it is called as oligotrophic lake. Okay, sir. Less amount of nutrients dissolved, then it is called as oligotrophic. Meso means middle range of nutrients. Eutrophic means complete level of nutrients. Here comes BOD. When the lake has become completely eutrophic, then it will result in increase of BOD. Okay, sir. Now there will be algal bloom. Understand, sir? This understanding is important. But fortunately in India, we don't have any oligotrophic lakes. No lakes in India is oligotrophic, sir. Okay, sir. It is a general statement. Generally, we can tell this. No lake is oligotrophic in India because all of our soils are nutrient rich. In any place in India, our soils are highly weathered soil. So if water is holded in one particular area, say water is coming from rainfall, it is get drained and getting stored in one particular area. The soil, the water will mix with the soil. The nutrients in the soil will mix with the water, and by this way, our soils are rich in nutrients, rich in minerals. So no lakes in India are oligotrophic. Our lakes will be either mesotrophic or else eutrophic. Are you getting me, sir? Is it clear? Sorry. But the lake part is completed now, sir. Then what is a wetland? At least we have two criteria to make what is a lake is. It should be having a minimal depth of 3 meters and area coverage of 10 hectares. Then what is a wetland, sir? Wetlands, there was no clear idea about wetlands. Conservation of forest in India, there was no any clear idea until Wildlife Protection Act 1972. So these areas, see this area, these areas are not near the settlement, human settlement. This condition normally won't take place near human settlement. Okay, so people were thinking that this area is a wasted area. So whenever there is a rainfall for a particular time period, the water will be stored here and it will be having a area and become a marshy land, kind of marshy land. Okay, sir, always stagnant with water. So it can be used for agriculture at a very instant manner. So people thought that it is unwanted area. So there was no any point of interest about wetland. Okay, so what is a wetland is? The definition says that a wetland may be either artificial or else natural. It may be a low-tick or else lentic ecosystem. Right, sir? It may be natural or else man-made. It may be low-tick, that is flowing, or else stagnant water body. It doesn't matter anything. But here also the condition is the depth should be less than 3 meters. The water depth should be less than 3 meters and the stagnation of water should be at least there for 7 days. If water gets stagnated for 7 days, at least, these are the two limiting conditions. And the low tide height should not exceed 6 meters. Okay, sir. If these two criteria are fulfilled, then I can call something as wetland. The depth of water is less than 3 meters and water should be stagnant for 7 days. Right, sir? So that is the reason that India has, in India, the most of wetlands is under paddy cultivation. We have 70% of our wetland under paddy cultivation. Sir, paddy, it is an artificially created area, right? I am developing my field as a paddy field. So the definition tells that the wetland may be natural or else artificial. So paddy is artificial. Water is stagnant for more than 40 days or 45 days in the paddy field. My requirement is at least 7 days. So paddy comes under higher level of wetland covering area in India. So it is clear, sir? Yeah, you see here, wetlands, it may be marine, estuarine, riverine, okay, lacustrine that is associated with the lakes, okay, palustrine that is associated with fresh water, anything it may be, sir. Anything it may be. So when I'm speaking about a wetland and a lake in a comparison, here there is nothing a kind of about biodiversity. In this figure, I have shown only there is only one kind of bird species. If you have a closer look, you can find different species of birds. Right, sir? You can find different bird species. See here, sir, different kinds of birds. So in this wetland, there will be different species of fish will be present. So when I'm speaking about wetland, it is all about biodiversity. When I'm speaking about lake, it is all about water catchment. The volume of water which is being held, that is the criteria, that is the objective of having a lake, and biodiversity, that is the objective of wetland. Okay, sir. By this way, they are preserving biodiversity. So what is biodiversity? What is biodiversity, sir? Can anyone tell, sir, what is biodiversity? So if we make it faster, we can move faster, sir. What is biodiversity? So make it faster, sir. Biodiversity. So this is the point. This is the reason for studying environmental science. Many organisms, Chiranjeevi. Okay, right? So the different type of plant and animal species present in one particular area and in one particular time period. Two scales I need to completely tell what is the biodiversity is. A different type of plant as well as animal species, right, sir? See here I'm having only one kind of tree species, and I can count the different type of plant species here. But see here, there will be different type of tree species, different type of plant and animal species, right? So the different type of biodiversity is a group of species living harmoniously, living in, right? See different type of plant and animal species present in one particular area and time period. So why these two criteria are important, time and area? So that's what I'm telling in previous classes. So some 3 generations back, when my grandma was doing agriculture, there is no need, it was not market dependent. Whatever demand is needed in home, everything is derived from the farm what we had. Right, sir? Let it may be tomato, vegetables, green leaves, and all other things. Sir, lagging a little bit. Lagging little bit, whether my voice is breaking, sir. Okay, okay, the video breaks sometimes, sir. Okay, there may be some frequency issues, sir. It is working now. So I have dragged the video down, sir. Now, okay, fine. Just to show the picture, I have dragged the video down. So come to the point. So some 3 generations back, the biodiversity in the farmland even was very much higher. But now, if I go to my farm, there is only, if it is banana plantation, I can find only banana. If it is paddy plantation, I can find only paddy crop. Okay, that's why time is needed. Okay, comparison may be made. What is the, at which time? Okay, sir. So biodiversity is different number of plant and animal species present in one particular area and one particular time period. So previously in this area, the biodiversity was higher. So say if I'm going for Tiruvannamalai, it was once upon a time, it is called a sandalwood forest area. Okay, so those who are the dwellers of Tiruvannamalai, if they ask their grandgeneration, they will tell it was famous for sandalwood. That's why I'm telling that time and area is important scale to tell about biodiversity. Once upon a time, it was famous. That area was famous for sandalwood. Once upon a time. That area was famous for sandalwood. Now there is no sandalwood, right, sir? Once upon a time, my native place is called as Vatalagundu, sir. Vatalagundu, Tamil சொன்னோம்னா வெற்றிலை குன்று. Okay, வெற்றிலை குன்று. When I was a kid, I used to ski. Okay, whenever there is any cultivation. So in banana as an intercrop, they will go for beetle vine. வெற்றிலை ஊடு பயிரா போட்டிருப்பாங்க. Okay, so they will go for some other crops. In that, along with that, they will raise beetle vine. So beetle vine, we are the hub for beetle vine. Vatalagundu அப்படினு சொன்னா வெற்றிலைக்கு தான் ஃபேமஸ். அதனால தான் ஊர் பேரே வந்துச்சு. But I'm not I'm not boosting it. Now I can't find even a single field with beetle vine. ஒரு நிலத்துல கூட வெத்தலை கிடையாது. Understand, sir? This is biodiversity loss. This is biodiversity loss out of modern agriculture, out of modern form of agriculture. When I used to come to my native, when I was in school, okay, the water from both the sides of channels of the road, they used to intermix. ரோட்ல இந்த சைடுல இருக்க காவா தண்ணி அந்த சைடு வழியா வந்து ரெண்டு கால்வாயிலையும் தண்ணி ரோட்ல மிக்ஸ் ஆகும். Then think about what was the level of water table, what was the level of rainfall, what will be the prosperity of agriculture when I'm speaking some 2 generations back. Now it is a question mark. Now it has become a dry land area. So these are because of biodiversity loss. Biodiversity is very, very important for sustainability, for bringing environment under a viable condition, to assure rainfall, to increase the water table. So these are the setbacks, sir. So these wetlands, there was no much consideration given for wetlands until something called as Ramsar Convention. Okay, Ramsar, it is a place in Iran. So scientists started meeting. Okay, they discussed in this convention in 1971 in Iran. This was the setback for wetland protection. This was the pioneer 1971 convention on wetland in Iran. That was the initiation. Then only we came to know that this is not a wasteland. This has to be protected more if we want to protect the biodiversity. Understand, sir? So Ramsar Convention, International Wetland Convention for development comes with a price that future generation are paying. For yes, sir. Yes, sir. For ancestors, wrong, sir. Yes, sir. We can't tell that it is simply ancestor wrong. Okay, it is a bigger study, sir. It is a bigger study, right? Only we can't make the blame on ancestors. The younger generation demand is like that because our way of life is like that. Okay, to that, sir, in protected area network, how it has changed while discussing about protected area network. So come to this point, the wetland as a point of conservation was given a start by this Ramsar Convention in Iran. Now they made to the world the importance of preserving the wetlands. What is the ecological importance? How they are proving a valuable thing for biodiversity conservation. How they are increasing the water table. How they are protecting the soil erosion. Right, sir? So these are the importance of wetland. So here I have made some examples of wetland, box and fence. So whenever a wetland is getting water through rainfall as the main source, there is no other water source, only out of rainfall. Okay, say I have a secluded land. In this land, the water is stored only whenever there is rainfall. So it can be also called as a wetland, right, sir? Because areas have to be fulfilled. If I want to tell something as a wetland, the water level should be less than 3 meters and the water should be stagnant for at least 7 days. So here in case of box, rainfall is the only form of water source for a wetland. Then it is called as a bog. So mostly these wetlands are hydric in nature. What is hydric, sir? So the soil here are called as hydric soil. Hydric soil. So see this diagram, sir. Okay, so hydric soil, the water is more or less stagnant, and there is no chance that more of oxygen can dissolve in this water. That's why wetlands are clear source of release of methane. Okay, they are stagnant water, they are marshy land. The amount of oxygen dissolved is very less. When the oxygen level is less, then this soil is called as hydric soil. Okay, when the soil is less with oxygen, there is no proper rotation of minerals or anything. That is the reason that in case of bogs, you can find wherever there is hydric soil, you can find some insectivorous plants. Okay, Nepenthes like organism, carnivorous plants, insectivorous plants. So see here, this is nothing but a pither plant or Nepenthes. So the hydric soil are poor in nutrients. If the nutrients is poor, they can't meet out their nutrient requirement, say especially nitrogen requirement. So nitrogen is nothing but protein, right, sir? Yesterday I told something about protein. How do proteins are formed, sir? When carbohydrate is mixed with what, protein is formed. Can someone answer, sir? Along with carbon, hydrogen and oxygen, there is a carbohydrate. Something has to get added upon to get converted as a protein. What should have to be added upon? So faster, sir. Sir, either it should be nitrogen or else sulfur, right? Yes, Nikki. Right. Thank you, Nikki. Either if nitrogen component or sulfur components adds upon with carbohydrates, then it is, yes, sir, nitrogen and sulfur, sir, Kalishwaran. Okay, then it becomes a protein, right? So here, hydric soils, they are stagnant water, deficient of oxygen, so they are less in nitrogen content. To overcome this nitrogen N deficiency, the insectivorous plants, imagine, sir, plants, they are photosynthetic, but they are behaving like animals. An animal only will eat something, kill and eat something. These fellow, their plant, they will get modified as a pither, as like a pot opening. It will be of much of attractive color, and even they start releasing some odor. They will release some fragrance. Pondian, yes, Pondian, very good Pondian. It is sulfur or nitrogen. So see here, they will get converted as an attractive color, and they start releasing some perfume, some odor. So here you see there is water. Out of this perfume, out of this scent, the insects will be attracted. They will come and sit here. It will be somewhat slimy. So once this insect comes here, the outer lid will close. So imagine, sir, a plant eating an insect, sir. So nature can adapt in whatever way to overcome the nutrient deficiency. This is the inference we have to derive. So for exam point of view, you know that hydric soils are deficient in oxygen. They are nitrogen deficiency. To overcome this nitrogen deficiency, only plants are modified as insectivorous plant. That is Nepenthes. Right? So we are speaking about bogs and fens. So rainfall is the only source. Whereas in case of fens, glaciers are the source of water. Glaciers, Panimalayan, right, sir? They are the source of water. Say, adjacent to this area, there may be big mountains. When the glaciers melt, the melted glacier water, they will get reached in the plains and they will be converted as a wetland. This kind of glacial source water wetland is called as fens. If you go for Scandinavian countries, European countries, you can find the Scandinavian countries. Okay, so these fens are a kind of wetlands where water source is glacier source. Can a bog get converted as a fen, sir? Can a bog over a period of time gets converted as a fen, or is there is a chance that a fen can get converted as a bogs? Whether a bog can get converted as a fen or a fen can get converted as a bogs, which is possible, sir. fen can be converted to bogs, sir. Very good, sir. So when the glacier is completely lost, then there is no chance of glacier water. Now rainfall will be the only source. If rainfall is the only source, then it will become a bog. Very good, Uday. But no point of time, a bog will not be converted as a fen because there won't be any glacier source. This understanding and comparative study is needed, right? So wetlands. So coming to wetlands in India, we have more of what type of wetlands, sir? We have more of inland wetlands. Okay, the amount of wetlands, total number of wetlands in India is around more than 27,000 wetlands. Okay, we have more than 27,000 wetlands. In this, we have more of inland wetlands. Okay, sir. And coastal wetlands are very less in numbers. So these wetlands, fen can be converted into bogs, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay. So we have in this 27,000, more than 23,000 are inland wetlands present in the terrestrial land itself. Okay, in totally inside. Whereas more than 4,000 are nearly 4,000 is coastal wetlands. 3,900 something. They are coastal wetlands. So simply have it in mind, we have more than 27,000 wetlands, and the major wetlands are inland wetlands, not coastal wetlands. Inland wetlands. Okay. So what is the criteria, sir? But any kind of wetlands, there is any criteria to declare something as a wetland. There are some criteria, sir. Okay, so have it in mind, February 2nd. This is the day on which this convention took place, Ramsar Convention. That's why International Wetland Day is celebrated on February 2nd, the day on which the convention was commenced. Okay. So here, the Ramsar, after this Ramsar wetlands, all the countries started to conserve their wetlands, to demarcate their lands, stagnant area as wetlands. Previously, there was no any conservation aspect which was taking place. Even in India, after 10 years only, we started realizing this. Especially we started giving importance to wetlands just after 10 years of this Ramsar Convention, right, sir? Until that, we didn't went into action. We didn't got into action. But Ramsar, they gave some indication that in this manner only you have to preserve your wetlands because they have lot many ecological aspects, ecological significance what a wetland is having. See, these are the ecological significance. Migratory birds will rest. It will be habitat for various organisms. It is a food source. It's a flood and erosion control area. They are called as the natural sponges. What is a natural sponge, sir? So if you previously, in olden days, to rub the blackboard, we used to use some sponge, yellow color or white color sponge. You can find more of pore space in the sponge, right, sir? When you immerse this sponge in water, it can hold more of water. Like this manner, the wetland, they can hold more of water by this way. So this is a piece of land. They can hold more of water by this way, increasing the water table of the adjacent area. That's why they are called as natural sponge. They will shrink as well as swell. Understand, sir? When the evaporation is exceeding, it will shrink. When water is more, when rainfall is more, when flooded condition is more, it acts as a catchment area. By this way, percolation will be taking place and they will increase the water table. So if I'm conserving what wetland means, obviously I'm increasing the water table of the adjacent area. Right, sir? Natural aquifers. Yeah, I'm increasing the water table of that area. Right, sir? So what are the conditions, sir? So after Ramsar Convention, so whatever wetlands are now present, I'm telling about 27,000 wetlands. Among these This is the unique feature of the central government. They will declare something as a national wetland. They will declare some place as a new wetland. But if something has to be declared as international important wetlands, then it has to fit with the Ramsar conditions. The criteria is given by the Ramsar Wetland Convention, right, sir? What is the criteria, sir? So if a wetland among these 27,000 wetlands, if some wetlands has to be proclaimed, some wetlands has to be given the status of international wetland, then it has to support at least 20,000 water birds. Okay, sir. It has to be declared as a international wetland, then it has to what, sir? Support at least 20,000 water birds in that area. A minimum of 20,000 water birds. This is one criteria. Then, or else it has to regularly support 1% of individuals of any population, any birds population. At least, if I'm having 100% of a particular bird population, in this, if it is regularly supporting 1% of the total population, 1 minute, sir. If it is supporting 1% of total population, then also we can declare it as a Ramsar site. But this wetland should be a, what, sir? It should support regularly some vulnerable, endangered, critical species. Okay, sir. We will see what is vulnerable, endangered, and critical species, etc. Okay. It should have to support some local fish species. It should be an asylum for local fish species. We have seen loaches, right, sir? Likewise, some native species, fish species will be present. It should support this local fish species. It supports some vulnerable species, endangered species. Then, finding the importance, we can declare that we can submit our say to be declared it as a international wetland, right, sir? Some unique feature in that wetland. It is not present somewhere. So say Lonar Lake, right, sir? Very recently, it was declared as a wetland, Lonar Lake. Have you read, sir? This was in current affairs. Can someone tell where Lonar Lake is present? This was the recently added wetland in India under Ramsar site. Where is Lonar Lake? Any idea, sir? This was in current affairs, sir. Can someone tell, sir, where is Lonar Lake? It is the only crater lake. Maharashtra, very good, Nikki. It is a crater lake. Even in offline classes, we discussed it. Like it is a crater lake. So this lake in Maharashtra is very recently added as one of the international wetland. Okay, why it was in news means this Lonar Lake has changed into pink coloration. Okay, sir. The entire water has changed into pink color. So initially, scientists thought that the pink coloration is due to some algal growth. Okay, but after some scientific study, they found that some haloarchaebacteria is present here. That is the reason for this pink coloration change. Haloarchae. Now tell me what is halo, what is archae? Haloarchae organism. This is the reason for change of pink coloration. What is halo? What is halophyte? What is halo? Nandri Uday Kumar. Uday Kumar, thank you. Maharashtra. Sudarshan, Maharashtra, right, sir? So what is halo? So I told mangroves are halophytic organism. What is halo, sir? Saline related. Very good, sir. Archae. What is archae? What is where you have heard the word archae? So we might have heard in archaeology at least, right, sir? Very good, Dinagaran. It is first organism. Archae means age old. Tolburul archaeology, right, sir? Haloarchae. It is a age old saline resistant organism. age-old saline-resistant organism. You find the condition now, sir. Out of the changing climatic condition, out of change in climate and other stuffs, some older species are re-emerging. Right, sir? Or else we can come to an inference that their gem blossoms are persistent, they are dormant for longer years. When there is a conducive condition, they will re-emerge. Understand, sir? So, some of our wetlands will be figured as internationally important wetlands under Ramsar Convention. Right, sir? We will discuss rest of the things in 10 minutes shortly, sir. After 10 minutes, sir. We'll have a break now. Okay. Let's have a 10 minutes break, sir. Okay, okay. Thank you. Thank you. I'll come shortly. I'll join shortly. Yes, thank you, Namina. It's Maharashtra Lavamar Lake. Shall we start, sir? Shall we proceed? Shall we proceed, sir? Am I audible? Yes, sir. Yes, yes, Chiranjeev. Right. So, say international wetlands. I have taken some examples. So there is something called as Montreux record. In this international wetland Ramsar site, they have arrived at this record. It is nothing but a tool. Out of the convention, they have made this tool Montreux record. In this record, they will be giving some notifications. So if I want to abide by, if I want to declare some of our national wetlands as international wetlands, then some rules and norms has to be followed. If you are not following these things, then it will be listed as Montreux record, under Montreux record, based on Ramsar Convention. So say Lake Chilka in Orissa, that was the first wetland in India to be, it is an international wetland. That was the first wetland to be listed under this Montreux record because they didn't follow the rules given by this condition. Okay, this wetland, there was a collapse in this Lake Chilka in Orissa because more of siltation, more silt get added in this lake. When more of siltation is added, it will be a question mark for the organism presence here. The survival will be a question mark. And the beautiful thing is, in later time period, the Orissa government stopped the siltation. They arrested the siltation issue, and Lake Chilka got what's that? The best maintained international wetland award. Okay, sir. Just you know what is Montreux record? It is a tool under which wetlands will be getting listed as well as delisted. So Lake Chilka was listed in this because of improper maintenance. Now they will give a time period to overcome, to approve the issue, to notify the issue. Once the issue was arrested, it will be delisted. Chilka will be removed from Montreux record. Again, it will get the status of international wetland. Okay, so it is a checking mechanism. It is a control mechanism by which the wetland, whether it is maintained properly or not. You see this diagram, this is nothing but Loktak Lake. Where is Loktak Lake, sir? Loktak Lake, it is in Manipur, right? Loktak Lake in Manipur, this is the only floating lake of the world. This is also international wetland. The only floating lake, Loktak Lake, that is Kabul Lamjo. Okay, here you can see some, why it is called as floating lake, sir. You can see some floating structures intermittently in the entire lake ecosystem. So you see here, it is clear. These are some floating structures. These are called as boomdies. So Loktak Lake is called as floating lake because of the presence of this structure that is called as boomdies. Boomdies are nothing but the sediments, sir. Here you can find some soil sediments, raised soil sediments. Okay, over this vegetation will start growing. So you can see settlement, human settlement will be there in the lake. They will be doing fish catching as their livelihood. While doing fish catching, they will go to this boomdee structure. They will dry up whatever fish is caught here for a resting place and other stuffs. Okay, Kabul Lamjo, Loktak Lake. It was also registered, it was also listed in Montreux record, Kabul Lamjo, for improper maintenance. Here, what happened in Loktak Lake, sir? Here we got some hydroelectric power station. Some hydroelectric power station was installed adjacent to this area. So the wastages were directly released into this lake ecosystem. Out of this action, some native species, some native fish species present in this area were lost. They become extinct. Understand, sir? So see, some newer happening is taking place, some modernization is taking place. When the wastage is released here, it is proving a menace for the survival of some other organism. So the main purpose of wetland is to preserve the biodiversity, to assure the survival of all of the organisms present here. That is question marked in the form of modernization. So that is the reason that Loktak Lake is listed in Montreux record. Once it has been arrested, it will get delisted. From a poor performance to achieve a status. Very good, sir. Chilka did that. And this final diagram picture, it is nothing but Koilaldio National Park in Rajasthan. Okay, sir. Koilaldio National Park in Rajasthan. So you see here, sir, the cranes are walking over this particular aquatic ecosystem. These are nothing but Siberian cranes. The Siberian cranes prefer to come to this area. As a part of their migration, they will come and take rest here. They will breed here. It is a breeding ground. But this wetland was devastated. This wetland undergone some problem because of some invasive species, invasive grass species that is called as paspalum. Paspalum grass species. So Paspalum distichum, that is invasive. Invasive means it came from abroad. It is not of native of India. A Paspalum grass species, its growth was uncontrolled. So what happened once it was declared as a national park? After Wildlife Protection Act 1972, Forest Department went into this area and they started intervening with the local community. They told that the water buffalo should not be allowed for grazing here. Pinkish, sir, while looking the picture. Here, which picture, sir? Third. Okay, it was somewhat brownish color, sir. So see this, here I have not shown the Paspalum growth. It is a grass Paspalum growth. The Paspalum started invading the entire area. So previously the people, the local community residing here, they will allow their buffalo to graze here. So the Paspalum grass growth will be under control. When the forest department involved, they told that the water buffalo should not be allowed for grazing here. After some research, they found that because of removal of water buffaloes from this area, that is the reason that the Paspalum growth is uncontrolled. Now, water buffaloes are being allowed here. Understand, sir? So we can't see natural interaction in simple manner, sir. It has to be researched clearly. The niche has to be studied clearly. Then only we can assure the stability of the ecosystem. Right, sir? So this is all about wetlands. You can find what are the functions. They retain the surface water. That's what I told, that it acts as a natural sponges. Energy dissipation, groundwater recharge, shoreline stabilization if it is a coastal wetlands. Nutrient transformation is assured here. They will sequestrate more of carbon capture. Since it is a stagnant area, the carbon escaping is not that much easy. Sediment and particulate matter will retain here. High level of mineral constituents will be stored here. So it is crane only. It is crane only. It is Siberian cranes, sir. It provides food for fishes, waterfowl, water birds, various amphibians. At last, it ensures biodiversity. These are the functions of a wetland. Have it in mind, they are natural aquifers. They are natural recharge of groundwater and biodiversity. What is the threat here, sir? What is the threat here? Dredging and stream channelizing. We will dump all of the wastages in a wetland. Okay, for dam construction, for shifting of this wetland for agriculture activity. Right, sir? So the tree species here will be logged. So it is having heavy minerals. Mining activity is going on there. If a mining is done here, the crop growth will be question mark. The fish species survival is a question mark. Okay, sir. These are some of the threats, sir. We are adding more of the effluents directly. Eutrophication is taking place. Toxic chemicals is directly released here. Some invasive species, that's what I told, Paspalum distichum, which invaded in Koilaldio National Park. Comparison of carbon sequestration from rainforest to wetland, which plays a major role, sir. Right, sir? Sir, rainforest They will store more, sir, because the area is very, very higher, right? But carbon sequestration is assured in a wetland. It is trapped here. Fragmentation of the area. Okay. Vegetation and shifting this wetland for recreational area, recreational use. These are some of the threats what we are shifting to aquaculture, commercial farming. These are some of the threats, sir. Okay. Shall we move to next area, sir? We'll move to next area. It is about protected area network. So wetland ecosystem is being completed. We are moving to a new area, that is protected area network. So before moving to this protected area network, we should have to get some basic idea. What about conservation is? What is conservation? Conserving any plant or animal species, right, sir? Protecting any plant and animal species. This can be achieved by two means, that is in situ and ex situ conservation. In situ means on the site. Situ means in the site of its origin. If I'm going to conserve or protect any organisms where it is born, where it is living originally, then it is called as in situ conservation. Say forest, tiger protection, tiger conservation. I'm conserving the tiger in the forest itself. I'm conserving the entire forest area. My aim is to conserve the tiger present here. So where it is born, where it is living, if I'm conserving it, then it is in situ conservation. So even I can shift this tiger to a zoo. The zoo is not the original living place of this particular organism. Then it is an external site. So this comes under ex situ conservation. So what are the examples here? In situ sacred groves we will be looking. Biosphere reserves, that is forest, national parks and sanctuary, any kind of forest, they are in situ conservation. Only criteria is place of origin. What is the native of that particular plant or animal species? If you are preserving in their own area, if you are conserving in their own area, then it is called as in situ conservation. If I'm moving that particular organism to some other area, then it is called as ex situ. Say home garden. Okay, sir, seed bank, cryopreservation, preserving something under freezing condition, minus 196 degrees centigrade, using liquid nitrogen, right, sir? Botanical garden, zoo, aquaria. These are some of the examples of ex situ conservation. Yes, sir. That's what I told. This thing, tropical rainforest, they are living biomass. Tropical rainforest, the trees present here, the vegetation present here, they are natural carbon sinks. They act as a natural carbon sinks out of photosynthesis. They will store carbon in their plant product itself, right, sir? But there is a means that it may get escaped. But when I'm speaking as wetland, the carbon dioxide is trapped inside unless and when if you disturb it. So obviously the rate of sequestration will be higher in a wetland, sir. Carbon sequestration is comparatively, the potential is higher. The potential is higher. That is a clarity. The potentiality of sequestration will be higher in a wetland in comparison with what's a tropical rainforest or anything it may be. Even mangroves have higher level of sequestration capacity. Right. So what is biodiversity that we discussed earlier? So the diversity can be taking place at genetic level. So I am telling something as a species. If I'm telling a banana species, if I'm telling something as mango species, all of the mangoes should be one and the same. That's why I'm naming it as mango. In mango, there may be some subspecies. Various varieties, naturally occurring varieties are there, right, sir? So all are one and the same. That's why it is called a species. But inside the mango tree, if there is some genetic variation, in an individual organism, if there is a genetic variation, then it is called as genetic diversity. Here, take an example of frog. In this frog, some frog will be differing, will be having some minute variation in the gene makeup. That is the genetic diversity. That is for variability, that results in variability. So we are finding various varieties in any tree species or anything, that is because of the genetic variation present at the minuscule level. So among mangoes, we are finding various varieties, that is because of the genetic variation which is occurring. So genetic variation is a source of variability which human being can utilize properly. Right, sir? It may be it may be used for adaptability. Say some paddy variety in paddy. Okay, sir. In paddy, even some paddy are salt resistant, saline resistant. It means that that particular paddy is having a gene which can withstand salt. So if I'm isolating this particular plant species, okay, over a period of time, I will do selfing among these same species. So I am having only a single plant, sir, say paddy. Only a single plant which is resistant to salinity, salt resistant. This will produce more of what, sir? Paddy, right, sir? I will collect seeds from this. So all of these seeds will be having saline resistant. So I will go for continuous selfing. Selfing means reproduction within the same group. Right, sir? I'm doing selfing. These are some scientific terms. Okay, inbreeding. Interbreeding means between two paddy species. But I expect this saline resistant character. So I will go for inbreeding, selfing. At last, I can develop some variety which is suitable for saline resistance. So genetic variation is the basic level of variation. Species variation. Okay, there is some variation between species. And ecosystem variation is total variation present in the ecosystem. So this thing can be called as alpha, beta, and gamma variation. Okay, if alpha variation, if it is taking place within the same community, if there is variation, then it is called as alpha variation. Beta variation between the communities. If variation is taking place between two communities, we are clear that community means it is made up of different populations, different population of species. If I'm comparing the variation which is taking place between two communities, then it is called as beta diversity. If I'm comparing the variation existing between two different ecosystems, okay, then it is called as gamma diversity. So gamma diversity is the higher level of diversity. So this kind of diversity classification was given by R.H. Whittaker. Who is R.H. Whittaker, sir? What is the Salium outcome given by R.H. Whittaker? Sir, yes, sir. Surely, sir. Species evenness. Species evenness is very, very important. That comes in the context of what I'm discussing. Can you tell me who is R.H. Whittaker? He gave the 5 kingdom classification, right, sir? Kingdom Monera, Kingdom Protista, Kingdom Fungi, Kingdom Plantae, and finally Animalia. This order is important. R.H. Whittaker, he gave kingdom classification, organism classification. He classified organisms as Monera. This order is important, sir. 5 kingdom classification. It is popularly called as 5 kingdom classification given by R.H. Whittaker. So what are the 5 kingdoms, sir? It is the advanced level of classification, and still now we are following this classification. Monera, Protista. This order is important. Fungi, Plantae, and finally Animalia. We come in the last level, Animalia. This is 5 kingdom classification. The same fellow R.H. Whittaker gave this alpha, beta, and gamma diversity. Okay, sir. If the diversity is taking place within the population, then it is alpha. Between the population or between the community, then it is called as beta, and between ecosystem, then it is called as gamma diversity, right, sir? So what are these, sir? So the IUCN, International Union for Conservation of Nature, they will release data that is called as red data, right, sir? Red data. So with this knowledge only, we are to proceed to protected area networks. Red data book is released by IUCN. It is in Switzerland, right, sir? Exactly in glance. Okay. So what is, on which criteria they are releasing this red data, sir? Actually, it has three colors. This book has three colors: red color, pink color, and green color. If it is pink color, whatever organism which is printed in pink color pages, then it indicates that it is critically endangered species. If it is printed in red color book, it symbolizes that it is endangered species. If it is green color, then it symbolizes that the organisms are very safe. Okay, so what are the criteria? Extinct. Extinct means if not even a single species is present. Okay, sir. Not even a single species is present. Surely I can tell that not even a single species, that from the government annual reports, they prepare this statement. Yes, sir. Our National Botanical Survey and our National Zoological Survey, they will play a role in this thing, sir. Okay. So, extinct means not even a single species is present. Whereas extinct in wild, EW, it symbolizes that actually that particular species is not present in the wild condition, say in a forest or where it originated, but it may be in ex situ conservation. It may be present in a zoo. It may be present in any form of ex situ conservation, in captive farming, right, sir? Whereas critically endangered, CR, if an organism out of its population, if 90% of the population is lost, in any population, if 90% is lost, then it is critically endangered, and only finally I have only 50 matured individuals. I can count these individuals, 50 matured individuals are present, then it is called as critically endangered. Endangered, EN, it symbolizes that when around 70% of the total population of the particular organism has been lost, and only 250 matured individuals are present, then it is endangered. And vulnerable, around 50% of the population is present, and around 10,000 matured individuals are present. Okay, sir. This is the criteria to classify some organism as critically endangered, and vulnerable. Near threatened, it may, if not controlled, if conservation aspect is not given here, if conservation aspect is not taken here, it may go into any of this category. So if some organism is classified as near threatened, then it is the role of the government and the people to have a conservation aspect, to preserve it. Least concern, it means that these organisms are highly populous. That's why I'm not bothering even at all. They are more in population. Data deficient. Okay, some organization, some researcher, they are doing some research out of a particular organism. Okay, even after the completion of research, they can't arrive at a figure. What is the level of population of the particular organism? What is the level of distribution of that organism in that area, in the geographical area? They couldn't arrive at a figure. The research couldn't give a conclusion. Then it is called as data deficient. I can't tell based on the data deficiency whether it is under which category, vulnerable, endangered, or anything, because even the research is not giving any conclusion to me. Not evaluated. Even research level itself is not started here. Right, sir? So these things, even our great Indian Western, yes, sir. Yes, sir, they are critically endangered, sir. So these things you have to have in mind, 90%, and only 50% mature individual, that is critically endangered, 70% loss of population, and only 250 mature individuals. Vulnerable, it is 50%, and 10,000 mature individuals is present. Okay, sir. Next one. So how to categorize some species? We can categorize some species, flagship species. So see here, Some species are flagship species. We are choosing, the government is choosing, the forest department is choosing some species, they are declaring some species as flagship species. That means that the species is selected out of its popularity. It is very popular among the particular people in that particular country. Okay, polar bear, it is very popular, everyone likes it. Out of its charisma, that is out of its attraction. It is chosen out of its attraction, charismatic character, attraction. So if one particular species has declared as a flagship species, obviously all other related species will be conserved, will be protected. It is chosen to represent an environmental cause in a need of ecosystem, right, sir? If a polar bear is conserved, protected, it means the entire polar area has to be conserved. So the condition here for declaring it is out of its popularity, out of its attraction or charisma. So ketone species, if it is present or absent, if I'm making a research of a particular forest ecosystem, if I'm finding some keystone species, if I couldn't find some species, that's keystone species, that indicates the stability of that ecosystem, whose addition or loss from the ecosystem leads to major changes in the occurrence. Okay, sir. Because their population or their count doesn't matter here, sir. But they are very, very important in the sustainability of that particular ecosystem. Right? So for an example, if you go for grassland, elephant is a keystone species in a grassland. They will maintain the grassland as a grassland itself. That will assure the grassland ecosystem. If they are lost in that ecosystem, the entire ecosystem may get collapsed. The stability of the ecosystem will be collapsed, will be question marked. So say a tiger population, it is the topmost predator, that is also a keystone species, right? Indicator species we have discussed ample times. It indicates the quality of the ecosystem. Okay, so lichens is an indicator for air purity. If lichens or lichens is present, then I can come to a conclusion that the environment is of quality. The air quality is good. Out of the air quality, some other species will be present here. So say corals, that indicates, if corals is present, it indicates that the marine ecosystem is viable. The pH is in control. The temperature is in control. If corals are present, obviously many other species will come to this area. Okay, sir. So foundation species, umbrella species. Umbrella species, a wider area is needed for conserving this particular species. So say for an example, Siberian tiger. They are present in Russia. From there, they will go to various countries. They will move to China. They will move to Ukraine. Right, sir? So if I am conserving Siberian tiger, obviously I have to look into the areas wherever it is roaming. So umbrella species means it covers a larger area wherever it is going. Siberian cranes, they're coming to India from Russia. So if I'm protecting Koilaldev National Park in India, then only we can preserve, we can conserve the Siberian crane population, because they are coming to India to escape the severe winter present in Siberia. It is a migratory escapism. If I'm not preserving my wetland here, then the survival of the Siberian cranes is a question mark. So by this way, if I'm protecting my Koilaldev National Park in Rajasthan, obviously I'm not protecting only Siberian cranes. Whatever other related species present here, they are also conserved. They are also protected. Umbrella species, it needs larger area. Okay, sir. Some other species classification is also there. Foundation species, which is the building block of that environment, which is the base of that ecosystem, then it is called as foundation. Corals, coral reefs, they are the foundation on which all other organisms are associated in the ocean. right, sir? So foundation, grassland. Okay, sir. Which is the producer mostly? They becomes the foundation species. Who are the producers? A set of other organisms are dependent based on the presence of this organism. That is called as foundation species, right, sir? Now we'll go to protected area network, sir. So what is protected? Yes, yes, some doubts. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sir, we'll discuss in detail in coming classes, sir. So first we are dealing with conceptual area. Okay. So these are conventions, sir. Then and there, if it is needed, I will tell, sir. Conventions. So come to the point, protected area networks. So what are protected area networks? So in India, this was started after the Wildlife Protection Act 1972. So previously, even that was the culture in India, the king used to hunt the animals as a pastime, right, sir? That is still now practiced in modern era. In Africa, there is some auction or bidding going on to hunt animals. They will come in electronic medium and they will bid, they will go for auctioning, for hunting. Okay, sir. That was the condition even in India. As a pastime, kings used to, as a pride, they used you to go for hunting. There was no concern about the environmental protection, but it was pioneered after the Wildlife Protection Act 1972. Before this, there was one more legislation, prevention of cruelty against animals. Prevention of cruelty against animals. Animal Welfare Board was formed. Okay, sir. These are the pioneer precedents in which protected area networks. So what are protected area networks, sir? These are some of the methods, all forms by which I'm going to preserve, I'm going to conserve, I'm going to protect the nature and the environment and the organisms by whatever means, by whatever norms, by whatever methodologies, I'm going to conserve the nature in an indirect mean so that I can conserve the organism present here, so that I can assure the biodiversity. Okay, sir. So that I can attain the objectivity of what's that? Sustainability. These things are very much needed to attain the objectivity of sustainability. What is sustainability, sir? This is the fundamental sustainability. That means I have to keep something for my future generation. I should not exhaust the environment. I should not exploit the environment in an unprecedented scale. If I'm doing so in near future, my generation, our next generation will be what's that? Their survival even will be a question mark. So sustainability, having in mind about the future generation need. These are some of the objectives, sir. So protected area networks. So here comes national parks and wildlife sanctuaries. So national parks. So the WPA Act gave something about what is a national park and wildlife sanctuary, but there is no any clear-cut idea what is the condition for declaring something as a national park and what is the condition for declaring something as a wildlife sanctuary. If the state government is sufficed, if the state government thinks that I have to conserve a particular environment, a particular forest, then they can declare that area as a wildlife sanctuary. Okay, if much more protection is needed, if the state government thinks, they can even declare it as a national park, but with the consents of the central government. So whenever I'm speaking something as national park, the role of the central government comes here, but the maintenance and other stuffs rest with sanctioning, even declaring, even rest with the state government. They have to pass a resolution and they have to submit to the central government that here, from here onwards, we are going to declare this area as a wildlife sanctuary or national parks. But compared to national park and wildlife sanctuary is having least protection. National parks are having higher degree of protection. When some area is declared as a national park, higher level of protection is given, right, sir? This is the first difference in protection aspect. How it is protected, we'll discuss. But I'm speaking something about wildlife sanctuaries. Wildlife sanctuaries, the difference is here, even for conserving a single species, for even a single species, the state government can declare some area as a wildlife sanctuary. Say for an example, in Tamil Nadu, we have wildlife sanctuary in Srivillibutur for whistled squirrel, right, sir? For protecting this whistled squirrel, we have declared that INR waterfalls area, INR forest adjacent area as a wildlife sanctuary. So even for protecting a single species, wildlife sanctuary can be declared, but national park can't be did so like that. For protecting for a single species, we can't declare some area as a national park. It means that the entire ecosystem is brought under the protection. It is brought under the conservation aspect in case of national park. The same thing may even apply to wildlife sanctuary, but the exception is for wildlife sanctuary, it may even, what's that? It can be even declared for protecting a single species. Is it clear, sir? So is it clear? So coming to this, we have more of national parks in India. Okay, more than 100 national parks we have. Wildlife sanctuaries, we have more than 550 because it is the total right of the state, right? So we have more of wildlife sanctuary than national parks. And other than this, we have conservation reserve, community reserve, and sacred groves. We will go one by one, sir. And the last one is biosphere. Okay, so here, so say if an area has to be declared as a protected area, then it is coming under the legislation of the government. In wildlife sanctuary, transition and core area being protected, right, sir? Right, sir. In conventional manner, it is done. We will detail in biosphere reserve. That comes in figure in biosphere. So the state government is going to declare some area as a wildlife sanctuary. Previously, some people are residing here. Say a forest is there adjacent to my village. My village is present here. Some villages are present inside the forest, right, sir? Some villages are present in the periphery, in the margins of the forest. Okay, so suddenly finding that this ecosystem is being spoiled and it is having more of biodiversity, if the government is satisfied, then they can declare this area as a wildlife sanctuary. Under what conditions, sir? Can it simply tell that on by this day this area is being declared as a wildlife sanctuary? So they can't go like that. Government can't go like that. They have to do some initial notification. Okay, sir. Some initial notification will be made by the government that hereafter this area, we are in idea to declare this area as a wildlife sanctuary. But some villagers are residing here. So to overcome the dispute, a collector in charge will be appointed. Right, sir? To settle all these disputes. Through Panchayat board, they take care of this. Yes, sir. They will come as figure. They will come for this discussion. A collector in charge will be appointed if they are villagers. If the collector in charge feels that the village people has to be settled outside this area, he will pursue in such a manner. Right, sir? Say, if it is a deep forest, some tribes are present here for many generations. It is not a village. Some tribal settlement is there. This forest, this deep forest is their livelihood. Okay, a village people, they are living this in this adjacent area. If they are being shifted to some other area, some alternative livelihood means can be made for them because they are somewhat urbanized. Whereas tribals, those who are living in this forest, generation after generation, they are not knowing any other livelihood activity other than being in the forest itself. So the collector, he has the power to settle the disputes. He can even sanction residing authority to the tribals present here if he is pacified. Understand, sir? So the entire dispute is being, what, sir? Settled by the collector in charge. Okay. So say, sir, if there is if something has to be declared as a wildlife sanctuary or national park, so say wildlife sanctuary. So Tamil Nadu and Karnataka, some of the forest area is coming under the part of Karnataka, and there is a river flow between this area. In this area, the adjacent Karnataka people, they will claim that this is my place. So here it's a problem with two states. Sir, no, sir, this evacuation does not include sacred groves, sir. We will discuss sacred groves because this is the last point of a discussion of today's class. I will make it clear first what are the procedures for national park and wildlife sanctuary. So here, before declaring, some river is passing or waterway is passing between these two states. Most of this area is under the Tamil Nadu control and some part is coming under Karnataka control. So this here, per se, Tamil Nadu government can't declare even this area as my area as a wildlife sanctuary. So here a special officer called as Chief Naval Hydrographer. What's that? Chief Naval Hydrographer. He is a centrally appointed officer, a central government staff. He will be in charge for sorting out the issue. Whenever the river body or aquatic thing is going between this area, between two states, then the chief naval hydrographer come into figure. Water sharing tribunal will be taking the disputes between the, sir, that is for sharing of water. I'm speaking about the declaration of some areas. Sir, it doesn't mean that after declaring this area, the entire river comes to Tamil Nadu usages. It's not like that. I found this area has to be protected. That's all. It doesn't mean that the claim comes to Tamil Nadu government totally. Understand, sir? The dispute will be settled by Chief Naval Hydrographer if there is a river passage between or water passage in this area. Okay. So initial notification is made. After initial notification, the collector in charge, he will be looking out about all of the settlement issue. Okay, so if there is a villages, they are using this forest area, so a compensation will be given. Some land, government land may be allotted for these villagers. Who is taking the responsibility of assessing this forest is the question. Yes, sir, I will come to the point, sir. Wait, sir, kindly wait, sir. Let me finish protected area and wildlife sanctuary first. Okay. So a compensation will be given for the villagers for the resettlement. Even for tribal persons, if a settlement is done, a compensation will be finalized by the collector. But a tribal is very, very adamant that this is my area for generation after generation. Okay, they have claim over some immovable property in that area. That was their right. Then coexistence, they can cohabitate here with some limited restriction. Okay, after this entire disputes is made, settled, then they will go for final notification. From the date of final notification, the area which is demarcated will be declared as a wildlife sanctuary. Right, sir? Then what is conservation reserve and community reserve? So conservation and community reserve, so by legislation means there are national parks and wildlife sanctuaries. These provisions are there by Wildlife Protection Act 1972. These are formed because of this act, but this is not sufficient, sir. Even this Wildlife Protection Act has not clearly made that what are the criteria to declare something as a wildlife sanctuary and national parks in a clear-cut manner. They have made some provision to declare some areas national park and wildlife sanctuaries. That's it. But no clear ideology was given there. Right, sir? So conservation, but these stuffs are not sufficient. When we declare something as national park and wildlife sanctuaries, still there are various problems to be meted out. Okay, sir, there are some disputes. Man-animal conflict is going on. Industrialization settlement is going on. For villagers, unknowingly they are entering into this forest. So to overcome this, we have some more conservation mechanism that is called as conservation and community resources. So say along the national park, if there is a human settlement, or in the periphery of the wildlife sanctuary, if there is human settlement, without the cooperation of these people, okay, we can't protect the nature. So the people's cooperation becomes very, very mandatory to conserve this. So say if a illegal group is entering inside, they are looting the forest, they are felling the forest, and they are exporting the trees here. Okay, the people has to inform the forest department. So for the people's participation seems utmost important. It is a prerequisite. So it was realized later. That's why we have something called as conservation and community reserve. So conservation reserve, it is a government owned land. Adjacent to this any area, it will be a government land. Okay. So the village people present here, they will be made involved in protection of this conservation area reserves. So government will declare some area as a conservation reserve. The land belongs to government only. Yes, sir. Local. That's why we have something called as joint forest management. Joint forest management. Only the forest department in isolation, they can't conserve the forest, sir. The village people, the tribal people, they have to join hands with the forest personnel. That is Joint Forest Management Act. So in this manner, they will form some committees, village committees, forest committees will be formed. In the same manner, government is extending the protected area in the form of conservation reserve. So they are declaring some areas conservation reserves. The land belongs to the government only, but with people's participation. They will form some conservation reserve committee with the people's participation. Understand, sir? These are some extended means to include people's participation in protection of nature. But what is community reserve? So here the land belongs to the individual. It is a private land. It may be a private land or else government land. Mostly it is a private land. So say near Tirunelveli, there are some villages, they are not even celebrating Diwali, because in their villages, in the pond, adjacent to the pond, many birds are migratory birds are coming here. They have chosen this area for breeding grounds. They are building nest in this area. So the people themselves, they are volunteering. Okay, sir. So say I'm having a farmland. I'm having some 10 acres of farmland. If I'm having an orchard here, plantation crop, if I'm having an orchard, say I have mango trees and sapota trees, various number of parrots will come here. Okay, fruit eating birds will come here. So if I'm a natural lover, I can tell that, sir, I'm ready. I can tell to the government that I am ready to conserve this bird species. I'm more eager to conserve this bird species. So I can offer my land to government, or else I can tell that I will give my cooperation in conservation aspect. Now my farmland will be declared as a community reserve. It's a private land. It belongs to me, right, sir? So that is the difference. In case of community reserve, the land belongs to the private land. In conservation reserve, the land belongs to government. These are extended protected area networks, right, sir? Yes, sir. There are many people like this, sir. Many people like this, sir. So next one, the last protected area network is called as sacred groves. What is sacred, sir? Something which is viewed with reverence, right, sir? Reverence means with respect, something with reverence. reverence, that is respect. We have respect, we have a kind of inner respect with God, inner attachment with God, right, sir? This is sacred, some belief over some religious systems, right, sir? Age-old form of religious belief, right, sir? So see, we didn't had ideals as we have in modern form of worship now. So can you figure out who are these ideals, sir? They have made these idols keeping in mind their forefathers, their ancestors. Okay, இன்னும் கிராமத்துல பார்த்தா கருப்பசாமி கோயில், முனியாண்டி கோயில் அப்படின்னு இருக்கும். இன்னும் எல்லாரும் முனியாண்டின்னு பேர் வைப்பாங்க, கருப்பசாமின்னு பேர் வைப்பாங்க. சவுத் சைட்ல பார்த்தா ப்ரிவலண்டா இருக்கும், ஐயனார்னு பேர் வைப்பாங்க. ஸோ எல்லை தெய்வமாக இருக்கும். ஸோ தே ஆர் தி deities who protect the village, they safeguard the village, right, sir? So they are nothing but village deities. Sacred groups are nothing but village deities. Even the tree, they worship the tree. Okay, they won't cut the tree. They have a fear factor attached with value. It's not a simple fear, it is attached with some value. Fear with value. If some damage is caused to this sacred groups, if you go, sir, if you go to a village, deep village, you can see a temple. Okay, all of the family members once in a year they will go for some auspicious occasion, say for some tonsure ceremony. If a child is born, okay, if they want to tonsure the baby, the entire family members will assemble here. That will be their village deity. These are sacred groups. Around this village deity, there will be some forest kind of appearance. See here, sir. Around this village deity, there is a complete forest. It is pristine, pure forest, sir. No disturbance. Generation after generation, say some 10 generation back, this was the composition of the tree species there. What kind of tree species present? Some 10 or 15 generation before, it will be present now also, because no one dare to cut it, because it is associated with God, traditional God, right, sir? If a damage is done, their family value, there will be some problem for their family values, and there will be some mishappenings in the family. This was the belief factor they have, right, sir? This is our age, this is our traditional form of worship. Okay, even if you go to some places, there won't be even deity like this. Instead of deity, they will be having a stone, bigger stone. They worship their stone, right, sir? They purify this, they clear this, and they will worship the stone. A bigger stone will be there. In some places, I have seen there is only a wooden box. In this wooden box, they will be having some, what's the kind of weapons which is used for agriculture. They will worship these boxes. Right, sir? If you are come from south, you might have heard this culture. So these boxes will be having, their temple will be having only this kind of wooden box. In this wooden box, if you open it, you can see some smaller kind of iron weapons. Say a sickle which is used to, what's that? To harvest the paddy. Okay, some kind of sickle, some other iron weapons, right, sir? Which their forefathers used. Using these weapons only, they might have filled the forest, and they did agriculture. So they have a value upon these weapons, and they will worship this weapon. So around this area, there will be a bigger forest. These are nothing but sacred groves, age-old, a traditional form of worship methodology. So what is the importance, sir? So here I told it is pristine, pure, it is virgin forest. That means it doesn't has undergone any changes, virgin forest. So say some 20 generation back, what was the condition? Is still now continuing. What was the composition? So say previously some 2-3 generation back, if there is any diseases, they might have going inside. Okay, so the deity here, the God will come to some humans, and they will tell that this particular plant have to be utilized for this overcoming of a particular disease. Right, sir? It is associated with some medicinal values. Some medicinal herbs are present here. They will use this medicinal, they rely upon these medicinal herbs if at all if there is a disease occurrence. Right, sir? So these are the last lending resort are the germ blossoms. So sacred groves represent an ancient Indian conservation tradition, protected reverence and respect, fear and sentiments. Okay, sir. So they won't even dare to collect the leaf fallen here in some places. Sacred groves are the repositories of rare and endemic species. That's what I told. Still now, the tree species which were present some 20 generations back, that is present still now. So rare and endemic species are protected still now. They provide link between society and the past in terms biodiversity, culture, religion, ethnic heritage, and other things. My grandfather used to tell more of stories about sacred groves. Right, sir? In which way they have utilized it. These things now, out of biodiversity registers, we are collecting and storing it in traditional knowledge libraries. Right, sir? Traditional knowledge libraries, a collective, sir. So in which way they have utilized the nature for various outbreaks. Okay, sir. These are having some medicinal values, medicinal informations. This came in mains exam too. Okay, right, sir. You had a question about traditional knowledge libraries. I was part of this traditional knowledge library in Trichy, sir. I was part of this along with the dean. Okay, sir, here you can reap various benefits in which methodology they are having a particular, say a farming system even. What kind of farming system? That farming system even will get figured in traditional knowledge library, right, sir? So it is a think tank, sir. We can get more of information if we are going through traditional knowledge library. So for a smaller example, jaundice. If jaundice is happening, we will go for a traditional way of mechanism, traditional way of treatment by giving some கீழநெல்லி, right, sir? ஒரு 2 நாளைக்கு கீழநெல்லி கொடுத்தோம்னா jaundice சரியாயிரும், right? So even modern medicines can't cure it, but traditional medicines are curing it. Various facts are stored here. So sacred groves say if there is some mishappening, if there is some natural disaster, out of modernization, I have lost some germ blossom. There is no any seeds for me to do agriculture, right, sir? So if I go to this place, I can collect the seeds from here. Okay, a germ blossom, it is the last lending resort. That's why sacred groves are called as the last lending resort of germ blossom. The last lending resort of germ blossom, right, sir? So what is the problem with this, sir? Throughout India, we have this kind of sacred groves, not only with deities, sir, not only associated with worshipping form of mechanism. Even if you go for remote villages, in cremation ground, in burial ground, around the burial ground, you can find some undisturbed forest. It means that these trees or vegetation or herbs present here, they are present generation after generation along the or around the burial ground, cremation ground. These are some of the sacred groves. So what is the problem, sir? These days, sacred groves, it's not a last lending resort. It is last lending resort to a particular extent only. I can't tell that it is proving as 100% lending resort of germ blossom or 100% level of protected area network, undisturbed protected area network. I couldn't tell like that. This happened some 5 or 10 decades back. Some 7 decades back, this was the condition. Say some 70 years back or anything, I can tell these sacred groves proved as a undisturbed protected area network, as a conventional, traditional form of protected area network. providing 100% last lending resort for job person. But it is not taking place in these days. This is because of modernization. So out of modernization, out of Sanskritization. What is Sanskritization, sir? Out of Sanskritization. That is modern form of worship. Right, sir? Modern form of worship. So there was changing the script. Right, sir? Starting asking question about the religious belief. We can tell in one way like this. We don't have a belief. Previously, whenever there is a celebration in a village, if there is a village festival in a temple, they will tie a yellow color rope in hand, in the wrist, right, sir? With the turmeric. Okay. With the turmeric, they will tie a yellow rope. If the yellow rope is tied, no persons will dare to go beyond their village for 30 days. This thing I have met out when I was kid. தமிழ்ல காப்பு கட்டுறதுபாங்க. கோயில்ல காப்பு கட்டியாச்சு, கொடிமரம் ஏத்தியாச்சு அப்படின்னு சொன்னோம்னா, the people won't dare to go to adjacent villages even. Yes, sir, during festival, village festival. But it is not a condition like that now. Because what is going to happen? Nothing is going to, we don't have a belief on God itself, right, sir? So that is Sanskritization, modern form of worship, right, sir? These gods are lamented now. Sir, what is the reason behind Kapu Katradhu, sir? Right, sir? So whenever there is a village festival is going to happen, those days only big temple will be present in any of the villages, and the all rest of the villages will come to this temple during the last day of celebration or 5 day of celebration. So many people may come with some diseases. To overcome this, they will tie turmeric. It is antiseptic, right, sir? So until the festival is over, everyone should have to tie a rope with turmeric. This will protect, this will act as a natural medicine. It will be acting as an antibiotic. It will be acting as an antiseptic. Again, if at all, if there is any disease emergence, it will protect us. That is the reason, sir. That is the scientific reason. This is Sanskritization, right, sir? Now it is questioned. We are questioning the God, right, sir? These are reverence. These are sacrifice which the ancestors made to us. Now, some youth group, they are going and doing all kind of illegal activities here. Okay, sir. They are preparing alcohol. Okay, all kind of illegal activities are being, these are the safest place for illegal activities these days. Modernization, right, sir? So, modernization, Sanskritization, these are the setback for sacred groves. So these are revered as, these are thought as superstitious belief these days. These are superstition. But there was a hidden agenda in olden days to protect the nature, to preserve the nature, to conserve the nature. There is a reason, because fear factor was the consciousness. We started praying to God. We started believing in God when there was fear factor. So the fear factor was revered as God. Okay, in the name of God, they preserved or they conserved nature and the village and the community as a whole. Now everything is question mark out of modernization. These are the setbacks for sacred groves, right, sir? And finally, we come to biosphere reserves. What is a biosphere reserve? So this came after Man and Biosphere Reserve of UNESCO's program, sir. Man and Biosphere Reserve, MAP program. So previously, that's what I told, Koilandia National Park, when the water buffaloes were removed from that particular ecosystem, the invasive species Paspalum distichum, they became a menace, right, sir? Right. So a human being intervention in a national park or anything was limited. People's participation was nil at the initial stage of conservation aspect until MAP program. man and biosphere of UNESCO. Okay, they made it mandatory that UNESCO's 1976. They made it mandatory that people should be an integral part of conservation. We can't conserve nature without people. So they should be made mandatorily as an integral part of conservation aspect. Right, sir? Now the government can't, in a layman manner, they can't detach the people residing in the conservation area. Their opinion, their sound knowledge, because a tribe knows more better than a forest department person. Because a tribal way of life is along with the environment. We read something in book, and whatever present in the book, based on that we will act. But for a tribe, he knows about the entire activity of all of the organisms present in the particular ecosystem. It is their way of life. They won't disturb or won't spoil the ecosystem where they are living, right, sir? They won't exploit the resources because it is their survival. This is subsistence way of life. They are leading a subsistence way of life. What is their need? They will act upon their need. But we people are acting upon our greed. We need more. For all things, we need more. Because we are money dependent. We are in a money dependent society. We are in a market dependent society. Okay. Our education, our learning process is a money dependent process these days. So they didn't have some kind of form of education, but they are well learned than us. They know everything. When it is going to rain, they know it clearly. Whether a snake is going to bite or not, they know it clearly. Okay, sir. They won't disturb unwantedly a particular group of animals or plants or anything, right, sir? So after over long research and I think UNESCO they made that map. Biosphere is nothing but a product of map program of UNESCO. Here, the entire biosphere is ecosystem with plants, animals. UNESCO, right, sir? Given by UNESCO. The plan is to promote management, research, education, and ecosystem conservation. It includes sustainable, that is the key feature. It includes sustainable use of natural resources. For what, sir? For future generation. We have to leave something for our future generation. I have to leave something for my kid to exchange knowledge. What is the knowledge? If I'm making my national park, if I'm bringing my national park under a map program as a biosphere, so after declaring something as biosphere, what is the outcome? This outcome I can share with the international dais. I can share with some other national members to make a still more furtherance in their protective mechanism, right, sir? The outcomes can be discussed. It's a forum. The aim is to get balanced relationship between mankind and nature. This is the ultimatum. Balance between mankind and nature. So we people are constructing some places, erecting some modern form of worship places where wild organisms are living, and we are telling that wild organisms is coming to my place. We are going to their place. Okay, I'm going to Kodaikanal. Actually, Kodaikanal is not a place for human settlement. Okay, we are going to Himachal. Actually, it is not a place. Tribals used to live there. So modernization, the Britishers, they are dependent of tea. They devastated, they removed the entire forest there, and they went for tea plantation and coffee plantation. Okay, sir. Here, there only human-animal conflict arrest. They didn't invade our place. These days, we are claiming that they are invading our place. So very recently, we are again and again we are seeing wild animals used to come to human settlement. They are coming to human settlements because we are devastating the entire forest ecosystem. Right, sir? So this is biosphere. So what is the criteria for biosphere? So the biosphere, even national park or wildlife sanctuary, any protected area may be included in a biosphere. It is a broader domain to preserve the entire ecosystem. Okay, sir. if some area is having some endangered species. Okay, if the survival of that particular area is question mark, then it can be, the site can be designated as a biosphere, right, sir? So what is the condition here? It should be having some rare and endangered species. There should be some regular water supply. So we'll go in detailing with some minimal points. Core. What is the criteria to declare some area as a core, sir? It should be a minimally disturbed area. So this is a vast forest area. Say like this. This area is minimally disturbed area. And one more criteria is this core should be representative of all trophic level of organism present in this ecosystem. So yesterday we discussed about various trophic levels. The entire trophic levels present in the forest should be present completely in the core area. Understand, sir? So if a entire trophic level is present, it means this area is stable. Right, sir? If the entire trophic level present in the forest is present in core, it means that core is stable. It should support what, sir? These are the criteria to declare something as a core area. Two criteria is there. That is, it should be minimally disturbed area. It should be having some water to supply to support all of the organisms, and it should be a representative of all of the trophic levels in the ecosystem, right, sir? Then buffer zone, they are adjacent to the core zone. Here limited recreation is allowed, sir, for research purpose and other stuffs. Okay, so transition area, the last area where I can't find where the forest is mingling with the urban settlement or any settlement. Understand? No clear demarcation. Here, recreation is fully permitted. Grazing is permitted. If the village is present here, they can take the cattle for grazing. They can use the non-timber farm produce, minor farm produce. Minor farm produces can be utilized by them. Right, sir? Any doubts do you have, sir? Do you have any doubts, sir? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. They can involve in honey rearing. Without disturbing the forest, they can go for honey rearing or anything. Yes, sir. I will send it to the, I will send it to the. Okay, you get my number. This is my number. Nine 9894540343. That's my number, sir. 9894540343. Any other doubts, sir? So tomorrow we'll be seeing something about wildlife, climate change, and agriculture parts, sir. Sir, this Wildlife Protection Act, I told something about WPA, right? This has 6 schedules, 5 schedules. Wildlife Protection Act. Okay, sir. Wildlife Protection Act. It has 6 schedules. 9894540343. Sir, I made it wrong. 9894540343. Are you getting my message, sir? 989454 5403. Kindly note it down, sir. I couldn't attach a message. 9894540343. Okay, I will take 2 minutes, sir. I will take 2 minutes to sum up this. Wildlife protection act as 6 schedules. The first schedule is utmost protected. Whatever organisms which are coming under schedule 1 and schedule 2, part 2 of schedule 2, they are highly protected. Just know this details, that's enough. Schedule 1, higher level of protection. In schedule 2, part 2 is having higher level of protection. And schedule 5, whatever organisms which can be hunted, that is called as vermin. Schedule 1, that is having higher level of protection, sir. And in schedule 2, part 2 of schedule 2 is having higher level of protection. Okay, part 2. Schedule 5, organism which can be hunted, that is called as vermin. You remind me tomorrow, I will detail these stuffs. Okay, these are repeatedly asked questions. Schedule 5. Okay, anything else, sir? Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Rest of the things we will discuss tomorrow, sir. Plants which should not be cultivated, that figures in schedule 6. Those plants which should not be cultivated, that is schedule 6. We will detail tomorrow in tomorrow's session. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Yes, sir. We will do it, sir. If possible, we will do it, sir. Thanks a lot, sir. Thanks a lot. Thanks, Kalishwaran. Thanks, Kalishwaran. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone. How does freshwater to seawater fish adapt? Sir, it's an interesting story. It takes half of the session to discuss this thing. Okay, there is something called as lungfish, Dinagaran. Okay. Lungfish, just note it down. Lungfish. How do lungfish migrate? The lungfish survival mechanism in Africa. Just see some videos in YouTube. It will be quite interesting. Dinagaran. Are you getting me, Dinagaran? How do I adapt? I can make some comparison. There is an adaptive mechanism as like a fish in a human body even. If possible, remind me tomorrow, Dinagaran. I will take some 10 minutes. I will make a nutshell in 10 minutes about this thing. Okay. Okay, okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.